Good morning, my little coffee beans, and welcome to Madeline's Life Management. Today I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be sharing a true scary story time. I got my blanket, so I'm extra cozy now. So I decided to go ahead and share this scary story time because although it happened a few months ago, it's something that I didn't think was really real for myself personally until I experienced it. But thankfully I'd watched enough like Criminal Minds that nothing bad happened. So I'm gonna start by saying nothing bad happened. I was fine. My car was on E, and so I was at work, and so when I left work I just typed in the closest gas station, and there was one really close to work, and so I drove there, and I'd never been there before, and it kind of looked closed, and so I was wondering if it was actually going to be open. So I turned in, and they're like huge potholes. It's just one of those places that is not kept up. It reminded me of Zimbardo's broken glass theory. Anyway, so I go in and they have like one pump and I fill my car up, and then they have a subway connected to the gas station. And so I noticed these two men kind of outside the subway door, and you know how when you're a girl who's alone, you notice people. And so I noticed these two men, and they were standing outside the door, and I didn't really think anything of it. So anyway, so I fill my car up with gas, and then it's my lunch break, so I decide to go ahead and go get a Subway. And so as I'm walking in, I thought they kind of looked like they were waiting for someone, but not me. They looked like they were waiting for someone. So as I walk in, they like right before I get to the door, one of the guys goes in, and the guy who's like old enough to be my dad, and not my exact coloring, but looks like him combined with another person, like he could possibly be my dad. And so he, like, same age, stuff like that. So he opens the door for me like this, like you would do, just, you know. And I was like, thanks. And then I go in, and we're ordering our Subway. And you know how in Subway you like follow your sandwich? I kind of felt, I wasn't super close, but I was like trying to keep my distance, but you like have to follow your sandwich. And he was standing in such a way that the whole time I was uncomfortable, because he was like, he wouldn't let me, like, he was basically in front of my sandwich. But he like was ordering for his, like he knew which sandwich was his. So anyway, I don't look at them because I'm alone. So I just like talk to the people, order my sandwich, and we go. So as I'm about to check out, and it's like them and then us. So the one guy, like the first one, just like leaves without paying, but like doesn't have a sandwich yet. So I'm guessing the guy's gonna, so the lady's like, his sandwich, and the guy's like, yeah, and hers too. And I, for a minute, was like, did I hear that right? And then it kind of scared me, because he opened the door for me. We walked in together, and he stood so close that it worried me that like we'd go out in the parking lot and they'd beat me up or something, or steal my car, and they'd think, oh, it's a domestic dispute. Oh, it's family business, which disturbs me that people wouldn't interfere anyway. But anyway, so I immediately was like, no, I'm not with them. I do not know these men. I'm not with them. And the guy was kind of like, and just like ordered for his sandwich. And it'd be different if I were with a big group. It'd be different if we were out at a sit-down restaurant and someone offered to pay. That would be different. But this just gave me the creeps. And we were basically alone in this Subway. And so it really scared me. And so then he like grabs his sandwiches and leaves. So I go to sit down, and you know how Subway has those like tiny little tables? Like there's just enough for like two people to sit there, like one person. I was all alone. And so I was like, I'm gonna sit at that little tiny table and eat, and then go back. Because sometimes it's fun to be in a different environment. So And Subway also had this huge window out, so I like could see my car. So the guys went this way, so I didn't see them because I was still kind of a little like, ooh, freaked out from it. But I could like see my car. There's this huge window. I can like see the street. Everything's fine. So I go to sit down, and you know how you kind of like see someone in your peripheral getting closer? Like I saw this guy getting closer, and he like sat down, and then I really noticed him because I was like minding my own business, and then he sits down, and this guy had his jeans like around his knees. You know those people that like want to be thugs and they have their jeans around their knees, and you're like, why are you doing that? That's very hard to walk like that. Anyway, and the first thing I noticed was how bloodshot his eyes were. The whites of his eyes were just bloodshot, and it kind of scared me. And he was real skinny. So I'm guessing looking back that he was probably on drugs, but I don't know, maybe there's a medical condition that makes your eyes bloodshot and you're really skinny, but I'm pretty sure it was drugs. So he sat down across from me, and it was really close, and he goes, no, and kind of like leans forward and like whispers something, which freaks me out because we are like, it's like us and the Subway people, and like, that's it. So I immediately grab my stuff and go, I'm married. I don't know why I said that looking back. I feel like I was in a really uncomfortable situation, and it was the first thing that came to mind in my mind that made me think, like if I heard a girl go, I'm married, I would like pay attention and be like, what's going on over there? And I wanted the attention of people because I was scared, and I didn't want them for a second to think that I was with this person and then something bad happened. I didn't want them to think that I was with this person. So I was like, I'm married. And I kind of like move back and I say it loudly. And the guy, like if I were a person and someone said that to me, I'd like, whoa, okay, sorry, I don't want to give you the wrong impression, and I'd like walk away or like be like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. But instead, this guy like leans forward more and starts whispering more and goes like this. Not that face, he goes like this, he goes, no. But like, still remembering it now, I'm kind of like, I'm having like a physical reaction. It was so freaky at the time. And he like continued like getting closer, and these tables are small. So by this time I'm like holding all my stuff. I had my car keys, my wallet, and my sandwich. And I like stand up, and my chair flips backward, and I go, I'm married, and I like scream it basically. And I'm like backing up, and this guy is continuing to walk towards me. And by this time there was a guy and a girl Subway worker. And the girl was like, sir, you need to leave now. And the guy was like, I'm calling the police. And I'm like continuing to walk back, and he is continuing to advance. And the guy literally had a phone and was like, I'm calling 911 now, and put it up to his face. And the girl's like screaming at this guy. And I'm like continuing to back up. Oh my goodness. And this guy, when the guy's like, I'm calling the police now, runs out of the door. And we're all, the Subway workers and myself, are looking out of this huge window, and we see this guy run, and there's this white van, and the guy opens and the white van is on the street with its hazards on. Like it's not in the parking lot. It is like on the street with its hazards on. Like there are cars behind it. There are cars having to move around it. Like it is on the street. It's not in a park lane. It is on the street with its hazards on. And the guy jumps into this white van, and I look at the white van, and I look at the people in the driver's seats, and they're the guys that were in front of me in the Subway line. So this guy jumps into the van, and they speed off. And I look at the people, and I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.